Welcome back to Zando Football, guys. This will be a video. I originally wanted to just go ahead and drop it on OnlyFans, but I thought that this would be pretty good for YouTube, for you to see actual live action in a football game where a particular player exploited a leverage issue on the defense and how you can implement that same strategy on Madden, because I notice a lot of people tend to do this. Okay, so let me go ahead and play it really quickly. There's a reason why I have 3 match at the top of the screen. And it's because that's the defense that my opponent is playing. Now, obviously, I don't know that he's playing 3 match right now. But, that's for later discussion. Now, I wanted to give you this video because I wanted to showcase I remember there was a video a long time ago I made where a corner aligned just like this, pressing the line of scrimmage here, but aligning way too far inside for him to be playing any type of good defense post snap. Doesn't matter what defense he's playing. It can be cover 1, 2-man. It could be cover 2 zone, cover 3. I mean, his alignment here is horrible, as is this player too. They're just way too far inside, right? And I remember stating that you see this a lot in Madden, because what players do is they do I believe it's where they do the base align, which aligns the defense in their base alignment, and then they press down, and that's what gets them in this particular position outside. Okay, and this is horrible. This is something that you will almost never see in real football, a cornerback aligned this far inside of their particular assignment. And I remember in the video I showcased a while ago when I saw this, I think I hot routed this guy to a deep fade pattern to attack that. And sometimes Madden has it to where this guy just magically warps over the top and is able to defend that. And I was pissed in that video because I can assure you that that is just almost theoretically impossible. If a player was able to play in this particular alignment and still defend over the top and outside, he would get multiple year contracts of 80 million. Who knows how much? I mean, he would be at the top of the line, near best cornerback of all time. Okay, I don't care what corner you play. I mean, what player you put at this position. Revis in his prime, he's gonna get exploited on this particular alignment more often than not. Okay, so I remember stating that almost never see a corner play like this, and I actually found the play in real life where a corner was aligned like this, and we'll go ahead and go to it now. Okay, and here it is. So where do you see the same alignment issue? Well, it's this guy right here. Okay, and I stated before, if I were to align a defense, think about the visual of the defense I showed in the game of Madden about 10 seconds ago, where the corners were aligned inside. If I were to show any offensive quarterback that same screenshot of corners aligned that far inside pre-snap, almost every single quarterback would say, hey, we can attack that corner by going deep up the field and just throwing an outside shoulder ball. It would be almost impossible for him to defend that based upon his alignment. Okay, and that's probably why you never see corners aligned like that outside, because they know that, they're just pretty much almost giving up a big play, 40, 50-yarder, potentially a touchdown. It's just terrible alignment, right? So what do you know? We see a guy align like this, and it makes sense why he aligns this terribly. It's because this is a linebacker. And this is where you can exploit defenses with personnel, because this is Julius Thomas here. And essentially what happened is pre-snap, the Texans wanted to dial up whatever defense they're in, but it's a man-to-man defense. So they matched up a linebacker to play man-to-man against Julius Thomas. But pre-snap, you don't know how they're going to align, what formation they're going to come out in. You just see the personnel. So, you would like for Julius Thomas to be here, next to the tackle or somewhere inside, if not on the next to the tackle. But Broncos were creative in getting him outside in space. And obviously what they're trying to do is they're trying to isolate a linebacker in space, and they got exactly what they wanted. And because of that, this linebacker is just not used to playing outside the numbers in man-to-man defense, which pretty much explains this horrible alignment here. And, you'll see exactly what I was speaking to in earlier videos, and how a quarterback will exploit this. This was Peyton Manning's 51st touchdown of the season, the record breaker. Prior to this touchdown, Tom Brady had the record of 50 touchdowns. So let's go ahead and watch it.
Manning out of the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning.
So back to the game. I originally came out in this play here. Obviously, I'm running the Salem concept here. Okay, and we have a corner and a flat pattern on this side. We're running like a flood concept on this side. So this play is excellent against single high defenses. Against cover 3 zone, I like to work the Salem concept. Against cover 1 man, I look to work the flood concept, tight end on the corner. If I don't like it, I could work underneath with the running back in the flat or look back to my dig pattern. But you know, when I see like it's something with my head. Like when I see something this terrible with alignment, something that can be exploited right off the bat, I will just immediately abort what I'm doing, and that's what hot routes to me are for. So when I saw this alignment, I just wanted to instantly get him on a deep fly pattern to bypass this corner here because of his alignment, and theoretically there should be no way in hell he should be able to defend this route on the outside. Okay. Now you may say, well, what about the safety? He, may have deep half responsibility. We'll get into that later. So I want you to go ahead and watch it. That's a tactic I use. You see how I fake snap the ball? I do that, and while I'm in that fake snap, I will hot route the player outside, and that's just to kind of draw his attention to the fake snap. I'm not sure if it works all the way, but I don't want him to make the signal for my outside player to run a deep go, right? I want him to fake snap, and then I do it so he doesn't make that signal. It's just a way of trying to hide that hot route on the outside. Obviously he still goes through the hand signal there, but that's fine. Snap the ball, fake snap, and as you can see, you can't get hands on him. You can't, it's just bad alignment, and it's just exactly, we exploited it the same way Peyton Manning exploited the same leverage issue. And as we can see, he was in cover 3 match. So essentially that corner was supposed to defend any route past a particular depth. But it's really hard for him to transition into that when he's that far inside on the line of scrimmage, especially against a guy like Julio Jones. So when you see a player align like that, that's a way that you can attack. Well, I mean, obviously, I think that should be your go-to move when you see a corner align like that. It's just terrible alignment. And what players do is how they get to that alignment is where they go to base align and then they press their defense, which puts their corner in that particular position. So why am I still going with this video? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so I believe we got a pick 6 here. All right, so this was way later in the game. Well, not way later. Obviously, you see it's still the first quarter. And I believe we went through a whole defensive thing, and we got a pick 6, right? And then he got the ball again, and I think he turned it over again. Yeah, 2 turnovers. So we got the ball again, right? So, I just wanted to give you a little history there because I don't want you to think that, I got the ball right away after that touchdown and, the guy just did it again because he's bad. So we're back out here again, and he does the same problem with this corner. And this time it's even worse, right? Look how far inside he is. And, I gave you that little history because, I wanted you to understand that he probably forgot, or maybe it bypassed his mind that, I did this same play on him earlier against this leverage, right? So maybe he wasn't thinking of it. He's pissed off that he got another turnover, and that's where you can get a lot of big plays. It's the first play after you get the ball because their mind may be set on what transpired on the previous offensive set of downs. So here you'll see me do it again. And look, you see how he transitions late? I mean, again, that's just terrible alignment, and we're just exploiting that, but just blowing right by him. There's theoretically nothing this corner should be able to do defending a fly pattern being that far inside. All you would have to do is throw an outside shoulder ball if he somehow caught up to him, okay? And, you know, you may think, well, what if the corner is faster than the wide receiver? It doesn't matter, okay? If you understand route running, yeah, at this point, all the receiver would have to do was get on top of this receiver and just stack him, right? Where you're literally right in front of him. And at that point, it doesn't matter how fast he is, because if in order for him to get over the top of the receiver, he would have to run through him, and that would be pass interference, or he would have to climb further inside to try to wrap around over the top, but then he's adding more distance to the same point that this receiver is going to. And it's the same if he were to go on the outside, and that would be even worse, because then you could just throw an inside shoulder ball, right? So, you know, theoretically, with him aligning that far inside pre-snap, I'm telling you, any offense would attack that leverage the same way. Just go straight up the field and throw over the top or outside shoulder ball. There is just nothing he can do. So this was way later in the game. I'm up 28-14. Okay, and I believe a couple of downs, you know, he stopped aligning him inside with base align and pressing. So he may have just forgot again, right? Right here, the second I see this, him being that far inside again, you got to be the type of player to where whenever you see a weakness, you just continually like exploit it over and over again. You just punish them for making any type of mistake. You force them to have to be on top of their game, whether it be leverage-wise, calling the right coverage schemes or shell coverages against your formations, etc. You see a weakness, you just pound it over and over again until they get it right. And so I believe, I don't know what defense he was in here. Let's see. And look, we just blow right by him again. You know, and before he was playing cover 3 match, he played a different defense after that. And this time, you see he was playing cover 4 palms, right? So if I go back to this play, in cover 4 palms, okay, we go 1 to 2. This safety is reading, oh, this makes it even worse, guys. So palms is probably the worst coverage he can really call. Is the safety is reading 2 to 1. If 2 runs a vertical route, then he takes that route, right? If 2 runs an outside breaking route, then the safety will get his eyes to number 1 and play that route on a vertical pattern, man to man. This corner is reading 2 to 1 as well, and that's the problem, okay? Especially with this alignment. If number 2 runs up the field past linebacker depth, then he knows that the safety will take that route, and he will get his eyes to number 1 and play that man to man, okay? So right away you can see the issue, right? He's got his eyes on this guy, and you can just blow right by him, and by the time he gets his eyes back to number 1, I mean, he's way underneath and not able to play the route better, right? That's why in cover 4 palms, typically you want your corner playing a little bit off. You don't want him on the line of scrimmage like that because he's reading 2 to 1, right? Now, even worse, if this guy were to take, well, not even worse, it would probably be at least a little bit better if this guy took an outside breaking route. So then your safety would be playing this vertical route. But, you know, that would be a better case scenario as opposed to this player running up the field, forcing this player to play one-on-one with this wide receiver here. So we get to see that transition here, and he's just wide open. So as you can see, the leverage from cover 3 match, that same leverage with cover 4 palms, it didn't matter. I mean, we're just able to blow past him, and, you know, he can't get hands on the receiver. He can't impede our process, nothing. And we just get a touchdown. This time, I believe he was playing cover 6. So he's playing deep half, and he's playing like underneath soft squat or whatever coverage he was playing in cover 2. But again, let's see what happens. I noticed it again, right? So obviously I'm going to have him just go straight up the field. Now you may think, well, isn't this guy deep half, so shouldn't he help? Well, theoretically it should be at least a little bit better than what he's been playing. The problem is his alignment messes everything up. You at least, if you're going to do that, you want to take outside leverage on this player and force him to take more of an inside release to help out your safety, right? Because your safety will have to cover less ground horizontally to defend a potential deep route by this player, right? But with him aligning inside, he's playing against the structure of the defense for his safety. He's giving his safety no help whatsoever. So now we can release upfield unimpeded, right? No hands on us because you're too far inside, and it forces this safety to have to cover more ground horizontally as well. Okay, so you're not helping out your safety at all, and you'll see the results of it. So here we get to see, I believe, 4 times where we just attacked that same leverage issue by the corner. And I didn't even throw outside shoulder there. Outside shoulder would have been better. But there you have it. So I'll leave. Yeah, he was in cover 6. So I'll leave you with that. Actually, he was probably in soft squat, this corner here. And in soft squat, he's going to read the number 2. So if number 2 runs out, he will jump that route and play that aggressively. But if number 2 were to run something like he's running here, then he's just going to flip and convert to man-to-man coverage against this and play underneath and inside. But as you can see, it just doesn't matter due to his alignment. His alignment is so terrible. He doesn't even get hands on the player. We're able to get right up the field, force the safety to have to defend that without getting hands on that receiver. So showing you this video, so maybe that's an element of your game that you can add to your offensive attack when you come out in whatever formation you come out and you see the corner play way too far inside due to your opponent playing base align and pressing the defense with the corner playing in really bad position. Just try to get your outside receiver to run a deep go pattern. You may have to wait it out a little bit in the pocket and just launch it deep on them and hopefully get you some touchdowns.